It's like if there was just one thing you knew about manifestation and one thing that you actually implemented, let it be this. Because it's what it's all about, and it makes such a difference, and yet people are still getting it wrong. The stories that you tell yourself create your reality. Now let me expand on that, because that sounds weird. Let's work through some examples of what that actually looks like. So I've done a lot of work with clients one-to-one. When I get the opportunity to be on a call with somebody, I love to listen. I love to help them to just open up and tell me about what they've been struggling with and all the reasons why it's not been working. Then they're not trying to sort of tell me the answer that they think I want to hear, and instead I'm just getting an insight into actually how they've been feeling about their situation. And when they're just talking in such a free and natural way, essentially that's like their subconscious just opening up to me and telling me how they've been feeling about their life, what the stories are that go around in their head, and then I can always pinpoint why they have been struggling and stuck in the ways that they've been struggling and stuck. When people say to me things like, it's always been really hard for me, I've kind of had this thing all my life where I always struggle to do blah. I'm just not a blah person. I just can't do blah. With manifestation, the really cool thing is you can intercept the pattern of attraction and change what you've been attracting. And in order to do that, you need to change the story first before the results, in order for different results to come. You know, I think I was like this for years myself when I was learning about law of attraction, but then my life still wasn't changing. If I'm honest with myself, what I was doing was I knew everything about the law of attraction. I knew everything about the law of assumption. I knew everything about manifestation. But inside my head, I was still telling myself stories about why this thing is hard, or I can't do that, or I'm scared of this, or it would never happen for me, or I struggle with this. And people say to me, but how do I change my beliefs? Because my beliefs are just always there, like I can't stop it. I struggle to believe in this. Well, honestly, what it takes is deep subconscious work, full immersion in a new story, but that can be simple. It can be as simple as choosing to start to tell yourself a new story now. And then some people say to me, well, what do you mean by new story? Like, can you give me some examples? What does that sound like? It's quite simply about the things that you've been saying aren't possible for you. Start talking about how they're possible. Start talking about how obviously they can happen for you. Start talking about how they're actually really easy for you to do and for you to have. If you're feeling overwhelmed, stop banging on the drum of I'm overwhelmed and start telling yourself, wow, you know, I'm excited to do all of these things and I trust myself and I'm going to break it down one baby step at a time and get it all done one thing at a time. It's like literally how you would want a wonderful parent to talk to you to help you to feel safe and okay and like everything's going to be all right. We need to talk to ourselves like that all the time. When it comes to financial things, normalize the money that you want to make. The great thing about me and my relationship with money is that more money is always coming, and I have multiple ways for money to come in every single month. And my money situation's good. My money situation's healthy. I'm doing really well financially at the moment. The cool thing about money is that it's a game and there's so many different ways for money to come in. And then people go, oh, but I struggle with that. I can't think of other ways for money to come in. Well, there you go. You're now talking the limited story again. What do you want? Do you want to keep choosing the limited story? Or do you want to let yourself tell the new story? Yes, it will feel a bit weird. Yes, your brain will question it and doubt it for a little while. But you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. And you start making it your dominant thought pattern. You start making it your dominant neural pathway. You start feeding more and more of your focus, your energy in the direction of the story that you want to be true. And the amazing thing is, obediently, your subconscious mind will take that on board and start finding things that agree with the new story. It will go out and look for evidence to back up the new story, just in the way that it's, by the way, been looking for evidence to back up your old beliefs. If you've been banging on the drum of, I'm not good enough, it's really hard, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. There's no other ways for me to make money. Money's really hard to make. Nobody likes me. Who would ever love me? I find it really hard to stick to a healthy routine. If you've been banging on that drum and thinking those thoughts and saying those things, the chances are your subconscious mind has been working overtime to find a bunch of evidence to bring that into your life so that you keep seeing more and more of those results in your life, right? And then you see those results and you're like, see, it's true, which just intensifies that belief even more because you're being shown evidence to prove it. So yes, it is a bit awkward, it's a bit weird, it's a bit of a mind fuck to start telling yourself a different story, but it's okay if it feels that way. It's meant to feel that way. It feels like that for me too. When I start to tell myself a new story that agrees with what I want to happen. Yeah, it feels weird for me too. Yeah, my brain questions and doubts it too. Cool. Then tell yourself it again. Then record your voice saying it again. Then listen to it on repeat again. Listen to affirmations about it again. Journal about it 1,000 times. Meditate on it again. Dance around and tell yourself the story again. And if that sounds like a lot of work, all it's doing is counteracting the noise, the story of the opposite, of the undesired outcome, which has been playing non-stop in your head for goodness knows how long. So yeah, if it's a bit of effort for a short period of time, maybe the next few weeks or months, isn't it worth it? If it could change everything that you are attracting, if it could shift your mindset permanently, if it could enable your brain to feel like it's working for you instead of working against you, if it could allow you to open floodgates to what you've been blocking from yourself for maybe years, if not your entire life. What if it was the key to transforming your life? Oh wait, it is. I'm going to share a story that could bring some motivation for those of you who are like, should I bother with this? At the beginning of 2024, just like every year, I set some goals of the income I wanted to earn and the success I wanted to create. And, you know, there have been many years where I've declared those things and then they didn't happen. And then I beat myself up and I felt like crap. And so at the beginning of 2024, I did something differently. We were at the early stages of moving to Spain. We'd spent a couple of months in Spain. And then I remember it was like 3 days after New Year, I had to fly back to England on my own. I had to leave my husband Jamie here in Spain because I hadn't got my Spanish residency yet in every 6 months. So because I didn't have a residency yet, I had to get on a plane and go back to England. I was sad because I wanted to be with my husband. I wanted to carry on being in Spain. And I was bracing myself for like a few months while I saved up the days again to be living at home with my parents in England, away from my husband, away from our dream life and everything. So I thought to myself, okay, first of all, there's things to be grateful for in this situation, and I'm going to choose to focus on them. But also, I am going to make this time apart from my husband worth it. I'm going to dedicate it to transforming my mindset, to finally implementing so many of these manifestation things that I've heard about, but never really dedicated time to doing. When I go back to Spain, I'm going to be the next level of me, the next level mindset, the next level income, the next level success. So I basically dedicated the beginning of this year to fully immersing my brain in normalizing my goals by telling myself stories, by speaking to myself about my goals as if they were no big deal, as if they were my reality now, as if I've already achieved them. Instead of the usual, you wake up, you focus on your reality, you think about what you don't like, you wish you could change it, you decide to maybe watch some YouTube videos, and then you go back to being dissatisfied with your life, and then you compare your life to some people's on social media, and you don't feel good enough about your life. Like, that was kind of honestly the pattern that my brain was in terms of what it was focused on, until that point when I thought, right, here we go. I'm going to completely reboot my reality, I said. I'm going to immerse my brain in the stories that I want to believe. I'm going to do the mindset work. I'm going to shift my self-concept so that I'm unrecognizable and I create shifts in my life. Now, interestingly, nothing changed overnight. But I must say, I manifested my Spanish residency in record time. So it was predicted to take up to 9 months and it took 5-6 months. So a big part of this year was fully moving to Spain, getting my residency card, and all the other bureaucratic things that I needed to go through as well to fully be a fully fledged Spanish resident. But I can now say I am a fully fledged Spanish resident. I pay Spanish taxes. I'm on the Padron. I've got my residency card. It's been a journey. Anyway, I digress. So that's been a massive thing that manifested. But like looking at my money and business goals that I had at the beginning of the year, we have smashed the goal. If you're the kind of person who doesn't manifest things instantly always, don't be disheartened. Doesn't mean it's not working. So many people throw in the towel early, I find. They say, Lucie, I've tried this manifestation technique and it's not working. I'm like, give it a bit more time. Maybe it's because so many people talk about, oh, manifest overnight, manifest in 24 hours. Come on. Give it a little bit of time. Trust. No, I know it's frustrating. I know sometimes we just want things to happen now. And if they're not happening now, we're doubting if it's ever going to happen. I've been there. I know that feeling too, okay? But hopefully what you're getting from this video is a success story of somebody who properly dedicated the beginning of this year to fully changing the story that I tell myself about my relationship with money and my business related goals. And then here we are at the end of the year. I've taken action. I've had my ups and downs. It hasn't been a perfect year of action. And I've achieved the result. So what do we get? I'm an imperfect human being. I've taken action though. And there was a lag period of about 10, 11 months between me setting the goal, rewiring my brain to feel like it's normal and available to me. 10, 11 months later, it has manifested. Let's normalize things like that. People currently, I think, in the manifestation space think it's normal to binge watch a bunch of YouTube videos, overwhelm themselves with a bunch of gimmicky techniques, buy into the idea that it's going to happen overnight. And if it doesn't happen overnight, they give up and they throw in the towel and they have their doubts and they think it's not working. Okay, so let's not be those people. Okay, and let's fully take this manifestation thing seriously. Don't give it a bad name. Believe in it. Do it. Actually do it. Oh, no, you haven't. You haven't. You've been watching some YouTube videos. You've been following some gimmicky techniques. Have you actually shifted your internal concept of yourself? No. Have you stopped telling yourself the limited stories about why all of these things aren't working for you? No, because you're still telling me these stories now. Okay? So if you tell me that manifestation's not working, but you're still banging on the drum of it's not working for me, then you are manifesting more of it's not working for me. So you got to let go of the story that it's not working for you. That's the first thing you need to do. And you need to start banging on the drum as loud as you can about how it is working for you and how it's happening and it's happened and it's possible and it's easy and it's normal and it's available and you have more than enough time and more than enough energy, and making that kind of money is so easy and available to you, and attracting those kind of friendships is so normal, straightforward, and happens to you every day. And finding that dream partner who treats you like this and who's thoughtful and loving is totally straightforward, totally available, and something that you expect. Having a healthy relationship with food, having a healthy relationship with your body, with the gym, is just so easy for you now. For as long as you tell yourself that all these things are impossible or hard, you're keeping yourself in the same place. And that's worth diving into, to ask yourself why. Why am I keeping myself in the same place? Why am I telling myself that story? If there's resistance to letting go of that story, that's something to explore. So I've actually decided to create the Reality Reboot. It's going to be a 6-part series, and it's going to go deep into actually guiding you through the process, like the process I went through at the beginning of this year, to completely unlock a new level of your reality by changing the stories, the focus, for good. So for anyone who wants to seriously change things up for the better, this reality reboot program is the one. The details will be down in the description, down in the comment section. Thank you so much for being part of my manifestation journey. I manifested you and I'm so grateful for you. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring my bell so that you never miss another video. We're getting close to 200k, by the way. Have you seen? Check the number down below. Where are we up to? Have we hit 200k yet? Thank you, each and every one of you, for being part of this journey. Ooh, and check out this video next. Until next time. Bye.